Welcome to Modern Handgunners, everybody. Thanks for watching. I'm Bob Mayne. With me is...
I'm Ben Branam from Modern Self-Protection, and we're here to talk about a cool fire trainer. We got two cool SIGs with us that we borrowed from one of our good friends, and they have a cool fire trainer barrel in them, which means if you look down the barrel, they look kind of funny. It's because you charge them with air, not with actual bullets.
CO2.
But when you pull the trigger, it goes... Nothing comes out, but you get this cool cycle, and you get a cycle on it to do, well, really dry fire. But what I've been noticing is it's almost like recoil. It's not quite the same, but I can actually, when I'm working on like the new gun here in the dot, when I'm trying to look and drive that dot, I can see that dot, and when I pull the trigger, I can see where the dot goes and keep pushing the dot towards where I want to go. And Bob's got the cool 226 Legion Elite single action Uber gun over there, which is a really cool gun. I'm super jealous of both of these guns, but you can see that they just kind of work and they're great. You can get little blocks for them to put actual stuff in there, so when I put the magazine in there and I fire it, it doesn't lock back. When you get about 15 15 trigger pulls before the slide starts slowing down, and I'll see if you can see that here real quick. I'm gonna just touch off a bunch of them. And now you can see, I can feel it start to kind of slow down and go a little slower and a little slower and a little slower. But you get these giant bottles, and all you do is put it up against the barrel to recharge it. It's the simplest thing I've ever seen in my life.
While he's reloading, there, now mine just kind of died out a little bit.
You hold it for like 3 seconds, and now it's back to right where it was. They're kind of cool. I didn't think I would like one until I actually touched one and started playing with it. I've been playing with it for, I don't know, 5 minutes now, just dry firing it. And, well, I get to play with the cool new 320 Legion too. But we're actually out here on the range, so I'm going to shoot it live fire too to see if the recoil is the same. But it's pretty cool to actually just be able to track that dot when I'm shooting and see exactly where it's going when I'm doing dry fire. And then I can work on managing recoil while I'm dry firing too. So, I don't know. This is another thing that I might need. You know, I find all these new toys. You might need one of those, huh, Ben? I might need everything, and that's kind of cool. I don't know if there's something out there in the shooting world that I don't need, but I thought
put it on your Christmas list right now.
I really thought this was going to be something I didn't need, and now that I'm playing with one, I think this is going to be a great way, especially if you get a new gun like the X5 Legion here that our buddy is letting us play with, to start getting used to it, to see the recoil, see how the dot moves and everything. I think this is going to be one of the ways to go to do dry fire, especially with the dot. With the normal sights, I'm not seeing it as much. I'm not having a problem driving that front sight to where I want to go. It feels like normal dry fire, and I'm not that enthralled with it. But with a gun with a dot on it, I'm super duper enthralled and watching that dot so it doesn't move and seeing it track back and forth as I'm shooting. Even with the cool fire, it seems like a super cheap, fun way to play at home.
Yeah, I agree. What I seem to like about it is that it's pretty close to real shooting. And it's all it is a barrel and a recoil spring assembly replacement for your specific gun. This is a SIG 226. So whatever gun you have, you buy the cool fire trainer, you put it in there, and you get a pretty fair amount of recoil. You know, and that's... recoil control is one of the most important things in accurate shooting, and so this is going to help you. It's not going to be like putting in a 9mm defensive load in here by any means, but at least you're getting. It's better than just regular dry fire practice. Would you agree?
I think so, especially with the dot on it. I'm really like the dot, and the thing I think is the next generation here. I do say that there are two downsides to it. First one, they're like $320 each. The refills for a big bottle, it's only 10 or 15 bucks, but it's not too bad, and this thing will last you for just about ever. You know, this one says 20 ounces on it. They'll be there forever. You buy them all as a set, but the whole set, the first set, is probably closer to $400 and $300 for the bottle, the adapter, and what you need to go in your gun. So it's kind of expensive that way. The other downside that we kind of see is us being shooters. You know, I'm like, I don't need any hearing protection. It's not loud as a gun, right? But your wife came out here with the range with us and was looking at it and playing with it a little bit, and she said it was really loud to begin with. So I'm thinking the downside is right now we're out on the range. Yeah, we got a cover over us, but I think inside my house when I start going like this and start playing with this stupid thing,
or in your backyard,
is my wife is going to complain that it's going to be loud. She always already complains sometimes, especially when I'm playing with shotgun or an AK, something that's got a loud action on it. So I think she's going to complain a little bit more with one of these. It is louder than you think it is, and it is going to disturb the other people in your house.
Yeah,
if that matters to you, my wife, she loves me enough to get over it. She's used to it. I think your wife loves you enough now to get over it. So depends on how much your wife or your significant other loves you. But it is a downside. It is louder than I thought it would be, and then it is more expensive.
Well, I think that if I was going to do a 300 or 400 round practice session with this, I'd put my ear protection on, because I think it's loud enough that you should have that on. However, but what I'll say is, especially new shooters, if you want to introduce new shooters to shooting, this is not as loud, not as scary, not as intimidating as firing a gun for the first time. So maybe get them to fire 40 or 50 rounds with a cool fire trainer in the gun, and then before you load it up. And what do you think of that idea?
You could do that first shots program and give them one round, put it in there, have them load it, do everything, and then fire the gun, and then it'll lock back. So you can even see if I take this little, if I could get it out.
I think this is a great tool. I think it's an excellent dry fire tool. I've heard a lot of things about these, and it's the first time I've ever had a chance to actually shoot a cool fire trainer. I think I need to get one of these.
So I'd actually do it as the first shots kind of program, is have set up a dummy range with this, put a dummy round in here, and then have them load it up, and then fire that first round, and then it locks open, and now this thing works exactly like it would with a live round and stuff. So I do think that you're right. This could be a really cool training tool. Like I said, the downside, they're expensive and they're a little loud. But the loud part is actually pretty good for somebody that you're teaching new, because they're starting to get that pop and that flash in front of them, and the thing's moving, and it's starting to get already more and more like shooting. And so that's a great idea of yours.
Yeah, and the final point I'll bring up, I'll use the red dot gun for a minute. There are other trainers out there. There are other training devices for handguns that tell you what you did when you press the trigger, tell you about where your bullet went and things like that, and what you might be able to correct. The great thing about this, if you're using the red dot, you get to watch that dot dance when you fire it, and you get to watch that thing move and move and move all over. So you can actually see how good are you at holding that gun still, because that dot just starts dancing up and down.
And then with this one, I don't know, because I'm a open sight shooter, I can track the open sights really well, just like I'm using a live gun, and I have no problem with watching those open sights.
Yeah.
With the dot, yeah, you're right. It's that tracking that dot. I'm looking for where that recoil is.
And you don't get that. You don't get that kind of practice if you're just dry firing your gun without something like a cool fire, because you press the trigger, nothing happens, and the only way it moves is when you accidentally jerk the trigger or something like that. But now you got the recoil impulse to show you what's going on. I think that's key.
Yeah, in all, I think I'm going to need one of these. And I'm going to have to spend the money for the $300 or whatever it is, $400 to get one, because, well, I think they're that cool, and I just need to practice some more.
Okay, thanks for watching. Please subscribe to this channel. Below this in the show notes, you'll see how to do that. We have a Shooters Club, more instructional videos like this, where you can become a member of that and figure out how to practice better without having to go to the range. Ben, tell them about the Shooters Club.
I always get to tell them about the Shooters Club.
Well, I can do that.
80 plus videos, bunch of training stuff, how to actually do things in the shooting world. They're all about 10 minutes, and they'll show you one skill and one skill only. I just did a podcast about shooting and moving. It's hard to teach even on video. I tried to do it over the voice, and well, you can get the video there and see how we've broken it down, how it's at different classes, and you can see other people doing it and how we instruct them and what they made a mistake of and how we corrected those mistakes, and it'll get you going even better. So some of that stuff's hard to learn, hard to train, but we break it down step by step so you can actually do it. Best thing is if it supplements some of your in-person training and not just that as a training style.
And lately, Spencer Keepers joined me on the Shooters Club to teach some ideas about appendix carry. Brent Yamamoto from Suarez International, Masada Ayub has been on there, several other people, which I won't give away all their names, but check it out. Go to shootersclubmembers.com, and that link is in these notes. We're the Modern Handgunners. Thanks for watching, and we are out.